What's another topic?
Well, how about this? We're at like 55 minutes. So why don't we leave with this thing? I always ranted some stuff. Maybe we can have some parting things of some good advice and how somebody can find you. Just like if there's somebody watching this right now that can really want to get some sort of insight, if you were able to pull somebody aside for a moment and give them, 60 seconds of your time, what would that look like? Maybe we can go, in the order that we introduce everybody. So maybe Jane, why don't you go first, if that's okay with you? Like some advice you would give somebody, the elevator pitch on like what you think is really important, because you were like employee, some double-digit number probably at MySpace, and now you're here doing the game almost 20 years later. What if that your elevator pitch to some kid to try to, relatively speaking, to try to help them be successful or think about something? What is a parting shot to try to make the world a little bit better place? Because ultimately, I think that's what we should try to do.
Specific to our world, DTC.
Yeah, the DTC, yeah.
Like, hone your craft. Like take in knowledge and take in information, but don't take in so much that you're pulled in 50,000 different directions, because as we've just seen on this call, like you're successful, Dylan's successful, I'm doing okay. We all do things differently. Like, and that's the thing is like, I think it's great. There's a big community out there on Twitter. It's fantastic. There's a lot of support. People have different ways of doing things. At the end of the day, you have to trust your own instincts, your own knowledge, the things that you are doing and applying. So yeah, I would say take in information, learn, connect with people, read, do everything else. But at the end of the day, like forge your own path, and then I think you'll be okay.
I like that.
I know.
Take what works, leave the rest. Something like that.
No.
Yeah.
No, we have to follow that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to follow that. Right? Let's go.
Yeah, right. I mean, my thing is always to learn how to learn, and critical thinking. Those two skills alone will set you apart from 90% of the people that are out there. If you can learn how to learn, so learning how to learn and critical thinking together mean that you don't take anything that any one of us just said and run with it as like that's the right thing to do. Go and find other people that say different things, and then go and try and corroborate either side of that, and from there build your own philosophy towards something, and then utilize that philosophy going forward, but always add to it, right? Like I have my own philosophy of how I think about growth, but a lot of that came from other places, but then I challenged those things too, to be like, is this actually true? Because there are people that'll tell you, as we've discussed, whatever you want to hear. So if you can't find a dissenting view, maybe it's true, but you have to have the critical thinking skills to realize that you're either searching for your own echo chamber or you're actually doing your due diligence.
Solid.
Yeah, I think I pulled that off. Good luck, Dylan.
Golly, yeah, I'm like, holy! I thought you were gonna slaughter that too. I was like, oh, this is man.
Yeah, like it'll be easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing is to kind of come in open-minded, more or less, because I mean, you're always gonna have your, what's in your gut you think you should do, but I mean, it's good to hear perspectives, and that's what I think Twitter is great for. And I never thought I would like Twitter, to be honest. But that's been a great platform for me in just the marketing realm, but even learning new things. I mean, marketing is fun, but also like staying up to date with, Web3 and, NFTs and all that kind of fun stuff. I love learning new stuff, which just kind of keeps me in the game more or less. And I mean, to kind of even piggyback more off what, Brent said, is just always be learning. And I mean, I think that kind of keeps you in the game more or less. Because I mean, there's never one size fits all. It's cool to see other people's, perspectives and wins, but I mean, you never really see the bad things sometimes. So I mean, of course, you have those 5 or 6 huge wins, but you also have like 9 or 10 fucking huge flops for the most part. So I mean, it's all about knowing that. And I mean, take everything with a grain of salt, do your due diligence for the most part. But yeah, I also love what Daniel said, hone your craft. I mean, I think stick to one thing, get really, really good at it before you start getting pulled in different directions. And a good example for, with that with me was ManyChat with Facebook ads. I was first to that curve, but now I'm like, I don't even use those things anymore. So, I mean, shiny object syndrome is a real thing. So, I mean, control what you can control and, kind of stay in your lane for the most part until you hit a specific spot you want to be at. So
I love it. I love it. And I'll go here, like, to kind of echo some of this stuff. And one other thing, like, don't be a generalist. You know who makes more money than the guy the guy that runs the corner like urgent care clinic? The brain surgeon that saves lives. Like, be extremely excellent at one thing and find people better than you at everything else. And I think that that's something that I've always tried to do. And the other thing here is what I like to say when it comes to learning stuff is validate who it is you're learning from. One of the biggest issues that I have, and I've been vocal about this for many, many years, which is why a lot of people have me blocked. And they blocked me on their Facebook groups before I joined Twitter. Now they blocked me here too. I don't take advice. I don't trust people that don't do the work. There's a lot of folks whose job is to manage teams and to monetize attention and to do all of that stuff that are giving advice on how to do things. But okay, Brent, fair enough. You actually do work. You got your hands dirty in execution, right? There are far too many people preaching advice that are repackaged versions of other things that are years and years old that don't actually do any of the work. And the honest thing is, I don't want that person to do the work because that's not their job. But it also means they're not up to date. And so I would much rather take the word of 5 people that are up to their neck in work, just pounding stuff out that are figuring it out, than somebody that hasn't gotten their hands dirty in years. And so that's like my biggest thing is like, if somebody's teaching you stuff, make sure that they actually do the thing that they're teaching. Because that's a big piece that I think is highly valuable. And I think that's one thing here. Everybody does the work. Like, we're all here actually doing legit work. You know what I mean? And I think that that's one reason why this is really valuable for people. So with all that being said, guys, I think we're a little over an hour, so I'll call it at that. But I really, really appreciate it. I know we got into some topics. I think, Brent, maybe next time you figure out a couple other hot take options for us to dive into, if you want to, besides AVO and CVO, it'll be fun. And don't worry, next Monday I'm going to drop another thread that's going to clearly upset people because I'm just trying to help folks get better at their job. But we gotta have Daniel come back to talk about like influencer marketing and UGC and how to find that stuff. I love that. Maybe we can do that in like a week or two because I got Ash and I got Dara, and I'd love to bring you back for that, Daniel. Like the influencer side, we've been talking paid media so much. But the influencer side, biz dev side, these other things. Like I used to have a 6-figure influencer budget. I would love to hear with somebody else that does that game.
Definitely, let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Well, hey, everybody, don't hit refresh too much. Every action you take today is off of incomplete data and will drive you nuts. You've already worked really hard today. So best of luck to you. And tell your clients to turn on Shopify alerts on their phone. And when their phone dies, you can go to sleep. That's my advice. I'll talk to you all later. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye. There we go.